The next tool that we're going to look at is Excel's filtering capability. While sort allows you to change the order of your dataset, filter allows you to selectively remove different pieces of your dataset so that you can only look at the data that's most relevant for the question that you're trying to answer. First, make sure that your cell cursor is located somewhere in your dataset, and then the shortcut to filter your data is Alt-H S for sort and filter, and then F for filter. Instead of a dialog box, you'll notice that my data now has these arrows on each of my column headers. I could either use my mouse and click on one of those arrows, or the better way to do it is to just arrow up with my arrow keys and then hold Alt and arrow down, and that'll open up the different filter options. You'll notice that at the very top of this menu, I have the option to sort oldest to newest, or sort newest to oldest, so you can actually use these filter arrows to sort your data instead of hitting Alt-HSU and going through the sort box. One really cool feature about filtering is that you have these auto filters. So right here it's suggesting date filters because Excel is looking at the data in this column. It's recognizing that it's a date, and then it suggests these different possibilities. So I can sort, if you look at this menu, to see only dates in next week, this week, last week, next quarter, next year, last year. So Excel's smart and it suggests some filters that you might find relevant based on the type of data in the column. Alternatively, I can come down to these check boxes, and let's say that I only wanted to look at old transactions from 2015. I could hit this select all box, which will deselect everything, and then I can go to 2015, check that box, hit OK, and you'll see that all of my data has now been filtered to show only the transactions in 2015. If you look at the left, the rows are now jumping numbers. This is because all of the rows in between that are not in 2015 have been hidden. And the cool thing is that I can now copy this data set and I can create a new sheet. And if I paste this data set now, it only includes the transactions from 2015. So now I've filtered from 1,000 transactions to only 83. So this can be useful if you want to create a new data set that's a subset of your original data set, and it allows you to keep your original data set unaltered in case you want to use that again in the future. Like the sorting feature, you can also stack multiple levels onto your filters. So let's say that I don't just want to look at 2015, but I want to look at Deutsche Bank, and I want to look at deals that they have declined. So I can go down here and filter only for declines. And so this really narrows down my data set so that I can look at the different deals that Deutsche Bank declined in 2015 and get a sense for if there are any relationships there that might be significant, that might help me to make decisions in the future. If I want to get back to my original data set, I'll hold on and hit the down arrow to open this up, and then I can go down to Clear Filter from Commit, and that will clear my filters from that column of my data. And then I can do the same thing on Investor, and the same thing on my close date. For really complex sorting jobs, you can go down to this auto filter area, which this is a number column, so it says number filters. If I go to a text column, it'll say text filters. If I go to a date column, it'll say date filters. But it's basically this area right here, your auto filter feature. If you arrow over here and then go all the way down to where it says custom filter, this is where you can create some more complex logic, and you can actually pass two different criteria. So I can say, I want to filter only for transactions that are, let's say, after 2018 or before 2016 or something like that. So you can pass multiple criteria into each of your different columns and create some more complex filters that way if that's useful for you. When you're finished filtering, you can remove the filter arrows and all of the filters that you've applied by just repeating the same shortcut that you used to put them on in the first place. So Alt-H, S for sort and filter, and then F for filter. And you'll see now that my filter arrows are gone.